A listener warning. Please be advised that this episode contains content that may be disturbing to some listeners, including descriptions of violence. Listener discretion is advised.
Life upon the wicked stage ain't ever what a girl supposes.
I'm Jen.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Olivia.
And we are, in fact, three different people.
This podcast focuses on true crime under the spotlight of arts and entertainment. So grab your beverage of choice and settle in.
Places, ladies.
Here's our episode. Oh, I love it. A set pieces today.
Hi.
I came with my own set today.
Olivia, I can't help but notice, for those who are only listening, Olivia has a very specific painting on display.
I do. So
I do.
Today's episode is all about the art world and forgeries.
Oh,
so
the fine art world we're dipping into now.
Yeah,
the
I'm
fine
so
art.
excited.
That's right. Not the performing art world this time. This is the fine art world.
Different art.
And my husband is an artist.
Just dropping that name right there. Just
and he fine. So he a fine art world.
No idea.
Yes. So he did this painting that's behind me. He's painted the Mona Lisa a few times in his career over whatever. And but
However
this
many
time
years. Wait, not to age him. Good job. He'll be happy.
Yeah, exactly.
2-year career, his meteoric rise.
Fast overnight success.
Overnight success.
Just a young child.
That's right. It's the Mona Lisa. A kind of a close-up on. She's closer than normal.
She is, yeah.
And she is holding a peacock. And the feathers actually go off the frame. And then in the background is the bridge from the Winter Park Boat Tour.
So for those of you that aren't from Central Florida, the peacock is like the symbol of Winter Park.
So
it's like cradling this peacock.
I know.
Though.
She's like
cradling
holding it so close.
This is her
emotional support peacock.
Emotional support peacock. Thank you. Yes, exactly.
Oh my God. Olivia, does this hang in elsewhere in your home normally? Like where?
That's for me to know, Ashley.
So this week's episode is about fine art, not specifically this peacock Mona Lisa does not figure into this week's crime / scandal. But
no. This is I did not steal this. But however, when you're painting the Mona Lisa, you want, as one does, you don't necessarily want to pass it off as the authentic Mona Lisa, do you?
Oh, well, I was watching. This may figure into our conversation a little bit today. Not a spoiler. There was it was on Netflix, I believe. It was a documentary about, again, fine art, the world of fine art, and art forgery. And they do talk a lot about within the details of the case that don't really matter for purposes of this conversation.
Right.
But the difference between what is just painting a copy of something like for fun or for yourself, like as an artist or your own personal enjoyment, just like copying something for funsies versus copying something that you were trying to pass off as the original or by a certain artist to say like, okay, in this case, had they had Pollocks and they had Rothkos because it was Abex art specifically in this documentary, and they're like, well, anyone can do this. Like, there's nothing to say that your husband can't paint his own version of Mona Lisa, but where does it cross the line into like forgery or crime versus like, no, this is just something I wanted to hang in my home, like regardless of how good it is, like
by the guest bathroom downstairs. This is our first art heist, right? This is our first our first visual art.
This one wasn't a heist, actually, but that one was a heist.
Yeah,
and they've never recovered any piece of it ever.
I know.
Ever.
What? Anyway, Olivia, what art crime are we? What are we even talking about?
What are we even talking about?
Yeah,
not Isabel Stewart Gardner.
Today we're talking about The Grift of De Groft.
Ooh.
I'm proud
Well
of that one.
done.
I'm really,
I love it when I don't
like,
have to title them. Great.
how did nobody come up with this before? New York Times, who
Palm.
wrote about this? Matt Palm.
Shout out to Matt Palm.
Shout out to Matt
We love
Palm, who,
you.
by the way, The Grift of De Groft. This is a Basquiat forgery in Orlando Museum of Art.
Right.
Our
Little
first
Orlando.
local case.
Little
Yeah,
old
our first local scandal.
Many more to come, I'm sure.
Oh, listen, we ain't showing a scandal. A little bit about who Basquiat was.
Yes.
So,
Yes, please.
I've heard his name pronounced two ways: Jean-Michel Basquiat or Jean-Michel Basquiat, but I believe Jean-Michel is the most common way.
Very Gilmore Girls. I say go
not
with
like, that's right, Michel, not
Michel.
like Anthony Perkins, like Ashley likes to say.
I only did that to send you, Olivia. I could see that you were just like, why does she keep saying Anthony Perkins? I was like, I'm going to commit to the
Keep
bit because
doing
Olivia is.
She also says Otello instead of Othello.
Otello.
I never said Otello.
Okay. So Jean-Michel Basquiat, he was born in 1960 in Brooklyn, New York, to a Haitian father and Puerto Rican mother. So what is reflected in his work, and we will share some, it's really interesting. He had his own really interesting style, and it's very much about the Black and immigrant experience is like what his art spoke about.
Yep.
And his mother encouraged his talents from a very young age. She recognized that he had a passion for art. He was also, I would say, like maybe genius level. I don't know if his IQ was ever actually tested, but he was fluent in French, Spanish, and English.
Wow.
So really, yes, very, very smart. And so his art, if you see it, it's one of those things that everything in there has a real meaning. There's really something behind every symbol. Looking at it kind of just like as a civilian, it kind of is like, oh, it's kind of scribbly and scrabbly, but there are symbols throughout that really mean a lot. There's a crown that is kind of his. When I hear Basquiat, I think of the crown. It's kind of a simple 3-pointed crown, and that shows up in a lot of his pieces. So warrior, Black rage, I would say a lot of societal statements are just really heavy themes in his pieces. So
what's the medium like, Olivia, just to kind of describe, because I feel like that too is also unique to his work and also like unique for that period as well.
So that's a great, thank you. God, it's like I told you to set me up for some smart words or something. So he started off as a graffiti artist. So there was a graffiti duo that was known as Samo, SAMO, in the 70s, and they were tagging buildings in Manhattan, lower Manhattan. So it was kind of like that outside the law, kind of renegade,
like Banksy.
Yeah, Banksy. Yeah, there you go. And in the early 80s, he transitioned from the Samo, I'm not quite sure. But it's SAMO. He transitioned to doing gallery exhibitions. So but what was interesting about his work is I feel like because he started I am not an art expert. Let me just asterisk. This is just from the research I've done. It seems like he kind of kept that rebellious vibe from the graffiti world into his actual gallery pieces. And he would often paint on found materials. So he was not necessarily always a canvas painter, but he used really vivid colors. It was a raw, energetic style and very abstract figures. He really liked to speak to social injustice, the power system, again, the Black experience in the 70s and 80s, of course, and also he was very focused on kind of poverty versus wealth.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So he also collaborated, which this is just how big a deal he was. Not all artists are recognized in their time.
Right.
Yes.
Some of them have to die first.
Yes.
Yeah.
Famously.
Mhm.
Let
Yeah.
Van Gogh.
Yeah.
Yeah. Basquiat was famous. He did gain fame. He wasn't always, of course, he started out, as a starving artist, but he became famous while he was still alive. He worked with Andy Warhol.
I was going to ask
He did
that.
collaborations.
There was a documentary about Andy Warhol and Basquiat was in it, and I thought that was the case.
That's right. They were friends.
Hmm.
They both kind of were that anti-culture / cultural pop icon at the same time. So really interesting. Unfortunately, he was a heroin addict. And
heroin.
Yes.
Away from it. We've said it once. We're going to say it again. We
Don't
don't know
we-
how many times.
Have we said that?
No,
Don't
we
do
did.
heroin? Yeah.
We did.
So he
Heroin. Don't.
Heroin.
Don't.
Don't do it. He was part of the 27 Club. So those famous people that died at age 27, he died at 27.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
It's incredible we have as much art of his as we do. Like, given that
At 27,
young, like it seems like he made a lot of pieces.
He did.
Time.
He did.
It wasn't like he had 3 pieces of art. And that's all we have.
Wonder what he would have done. Yeah. No.
Like the 3
know
are
what
great.
he did. Yeah.
It's a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. And he has continued to be a valued artist. And of course, his paintings have just blown up. In 2017, his painting Untitled sold for $110.5 million. Wow.
Whoa.
So there was a society that was formed that was specifically for validating the authenticity of Basquiat pieces. I think this probably happens to many artists in postmortem.
Sure.
There's like the family will start like a trust, or there's a foundation that's created that is specifically for authenticating their works.
Well, and there's
especially.
I was just going to say, Olivia, there's something within the art world, and it sounds like this is maybe part of it, but what they'll do is with the word, provenance, which is
provenance,
provenance,
yeah,
which is the history of like the authenticity.
That's right.
Which includes, anyone who has ever owned it, like people who've sort of had like custody of it, we'll call it like
that's right.
custody.
Right.
And it should go back to then like the artists themselves. But then what they'll do is, with a certain type of artist, and this came up in the documentary that I was watching about like the Rothkos, they'll have what they call the catalog raisonné, which is basically just like a big catalog that is, like you're saying, they'll get people who are experts on that artist to say, yes, like these are all the known works by, Jackson Pollock or by like Basquiat. But it takes a while, like you're saying, especially if someone dies like suddenly or sort of like before their career is like concluded, to put all that information together. And like you're saying, to verify like, hey, like, did he really make this? Or like, this kind of looks like his work. Like, was this one of his? Or this kind of looks like his work. Like, was this one of his?
Yes. That was established to specifically do that. Part of it too, because his work was so prolific.
Mm-hmm.
Sure. Yeah.
Not everybody had, and it was the 70s and, not everybody tracked what was going on.
It was the 70s. Everyone was on heroin.
That's right. That's absolutely right.
The art world, anyway.
Yeah.
I think it's also tricky to just document, and again, I don't know, but like especially in that time, to have things be maybe as photographed or as easily displayed as they are now, just even if he was working on things that maybe had never been displayed or shown at the time of his death, again, to sort of like get one's arms around
Right.
all of that and figure out like, hey, do you have more than one storage space? Like, is all your work at your studio? Is some at your home? Like, did you sell it at private auction? Like, where is all of it?
Yeah.
Like
Right.
Some doing. Yeah.
Yes. So that is quite a excellent kind of foundation, Ashley, that you brought up about provenance and what is it, and it's and it also, to me, the way that they pronounce provenance in the art world
so annoying.
is just so indicative of how wild this world is. I mean, so just like
provenance.
A couple weeks ago at Sotheby's, I don't remember the name of the artist. Sotheby's. That's cute. Sotheby's. This series of paintings from an artist went for millions of dollars, and it was called the Gray series.
Oh yeah, we talked about
in
this.
Gray, just gray, just
gray. Like swatches, like
not
even.
Like,
no
that's
detail.
Right, like the paint. That's right. We did talk about this at the end of it. Yeah,
we're just like so taking this to Lowe's.
There's also been there is an artist that sold a sculpture that doesn't exist.
What?
The sculpture is a blank space.
I didn't know that.
Yep.
Oh, I've seen this. Yeah,
the sculpture is a blank space.
That's right. It's
sculpture of nothing, Jen.
I'm sorry.
The essence of what a sculpture would be. And someone paid like $15,000 for it, I think. And they got like a certificate that says like you own it. And then the artist came to their house to, quote, install it. I'm not even making this up.
No,
so there's like a specific lighting that it has
for
to
the
be
blank
in like
space.
This area where the sculpture of spirit or something like that.
I take it back. I'm going to be an artist now. Blank space is going to be my canvas.
It wasn't titles The Emperor's New Clothes, but it basically could have been because it's the same concept.
Wow.
Like, there is nothing here, but you have paid so much for nothing. Created by me. I created nothing, and you can buy nothing, but from me specifically, I'm going to light nothing.
Like, cheers to him for having that idea, because nobody can do it again now.
I mean, that's
true. He did it.
It's an idea, but the fact that when I go to an art museum, I want to know if it's art or like a chair. I don't want to have to decide on my own.
Ma'am, please don't sit on that. That's as bad as a piece.
I'm sorry. What? Yeah.
No, this was a bench.
There should be.
I will say, yeah, Jen, there should be, and this is my problem with a lot of, I'll say like modern / contemporary art from, I'm going to say like the last like 50-ish years or so, because to me, like Olivia's point about like, the study in gray or whatever the hell it's called.
Yeah.
If I am looking at it, and it's even if it's like it's hanging at the MoMA, so I'm like, all right,
this I'll go.
Been revered at some level, but when I feel like I could have done it myself, as someone who I am a creative, I make art, if you will, like on a computer, but like I'm not an artist like say Olivia's husband, but at the same time I'm like, if I could have gone to the craft store and gotten a canvas and achieved this in like less than 2 hours, I'm like, I want to see technique. I want to see like a Michelangelo. I want to see storytelling. I want to see some effort. But when it's just like, I put like, 2 brush strokes of blue and this is called like my mother's pain. I'm like, what? Like, what is this? I want to see skill. I want to see some effort and some thought. Like, that's what I need. Otherwise, I'm like, I am bored by this.
I'm bored.
This is nonsense. Olivia, your husband's work is wonderful, and I appreciate all the detail and thought and effort that goes into his work.
Thank you. I'll let him know.
And he's changed the times too. He's done lots of different like iterations of what he does.
But when it's like
he does change. Yes, his that's true.
Yeah, post it.
I made this art. Wait, hold on. I'm about to make art. Are you ready? Wait.
Yeah.
Everyone, she is putting a pink post-it on her white wall.
Listen,
it's gorgeous.
The lines, how the post-it doesn't quite line up with those lines in the back, and
wrinkle our nose. Look at it.
I call it office discomfort.
Perfect. Nice. I think it's all about the title, really. That's good. That's going to really get our podcast up there because you're going to sell that for $1,000. Great. I'm ready.
Well, so. I'm going to I think what I'm going to do is I'm trying to
I have to take it down about
Someone bought it.
You're like, no, I can't.
It's
See,
sold
Ashley,
already,
you had an emotional reaction to that art.
Yeah.
That's what it's about.
That's what it's about. Mm-hmm.
You're like, get that shit off my wall.
Just let it be performance art if that's what it's going to be. Like, that's fine. Like, let it be fleeting.
So provenance. So there are times everybody's heard those stories that somebody is doing a garage sale and somebody else walks up and is like, oh my God, that's an original Pollock. Like, I think that happened one time and they buy it for $5 and then it's worth $80 million, right?
Sure.
It happens. And so again, those organizations that exist that are the authenticators, they discover the provenance, they'll like examine it to see is the brush stroke aligning forensically. Yes, absolutely.
Is this old enough? Like,
right.
Yeah. That was one of the exposés on that documentary, again, not to keep going back to this, but it was a Pollock. And they said like, oh yeah, this is a Pollock. It's an authentic Pollock. And they were able to disprove that it was not a Pollock because one of like the pigments and like the chemical composition of the paint, it wasn't even invented until like 10 years after Pollock's death. So they're like, it's technically, like scientifically, it would be impossible for him to have painted this because this product didn't exist that was used. Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah. Testing.
So I'm going to fast forward a little bit. So we know who Basquiat is.
Yeah.
He passed away in 1988.
Okay.
When I was 2.
It's a little bit important. And at one point he lived under, he had an apartment under Gagosian, which I don't know if you've heard of Gagosian. He is the art dealer of the universe.
Okay.
So anyone who's like a really Tim Coons. Okay. Like they are, Gagosian is like the art broker. Larry Gagosian is like the art broker of the world.
Okay.
So they were both, I think, probably young hustlers back at the time. Not that kind of hustler, not like Boogie Nights hustler, but like hustling in the art world. Well, maybe, I don't know. Heroin
to survive.
He needed to do what he needed to do. So that's a little bit about Basquiat. We're going to jump to 2022. February of 2022. There's a new artistic director at the Orlando Museum of Art.
Oh.
The Orlando Museum of Art is a art museum. It is located in Lock Haven Park, which is there's a cultural center right around there. Those of you that aren't from here are international listeners.
Yes, we have many.
Right?
It is. We've all worked
Museum
there.
Of Art. All of us have worked around in Lock Haven Park. At least that is true. There is a new artistic director at the Orlando Museum of Art. His name is Aaron De Groft.
Oh.
So he made a big splash when he came to Orlando. He was a big deal. Just ask him. Just kidding. Sorry, that was not nice.
But accurate, I feel, given what we're about to unpack. I know like the tip of this Titanic iceberg.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
In the sense of like, I read the headlines.
Yeah.
So Olivia, I don't think that remark is necessarily unmerited.
It's
considering everything about this person.
It's right. So in October 2021, he was named one of Orlando's 50 most powerful people in entertainment, sports, and the arts. And he came in at number 4.
Wow.
So he kind of made a splash on the Orlando art scene. He promised big things. He promised some big exhibits were coming, like nothing Orlando had ever seen before. And in January of 2022, he had a lecture. He was going to speak on a painting that was a Jackson Pollock that was going to be put on exhibit in January. This is just a little, what we call in the industry, foreshadowing. He was supposed to speak on this piece of artwork. However, the exhibit had to be canceled because the authenticity of the Jackson Pollock had been brought into question.
I didn't know that.
Was this a piece that OMA already had in their collection, or was it being brought in for this?
It was being brought in for this.
Okay.
That's so interesting and
yes,
smart on his behalf, because the Manila Museum of Art 15 years ago, had a Pollock exhibit because I had
Oh,
like
I remember
3
that.
different
Yes.
Pollock paintings. So like they've
Yes.
been here.
Yep. But there was no kerfluffle about that because the lecture was canceled. The painting was never actually installed. Now, I'm going to dive into the Orlando world of rumor and innuendo for a moment. And I'm going to refer to something I did see with my own eyes that I do not have proof of at this time.
But you saw it
However,
with your own eyes.
I know where I could get it. So let me take you back to the world of 2022. We were still in COVID land. So 2020, everything shut down. All arts organizations shut down.
Yep.
Some reopened that fall, some didn't. And then throughout 2021, everybody was trying to figure out how can we still have art. So arts organizations were suffering big time. Early 2022, funding was all over the place. Ticket revenue was like non-existent. At the time, United Arts had like a big symposium or some kind of collaborative meeting with all the arts leaders in town. That was, I believe it was like a round table of all the executive directors and artistic directors come together and, you know, kind of share your struggles. Okay. So sometimes karma just, you know, sometimes you have to wait for it. And sometimes she just shows all herself for the world to see in her full glory. So it's announced that there is going to be a new exhibit at Orlando Museum of Art, and it is featuring 25 newly discovered Basquiat.
I remember that so vividly.
From 1982.
So they're saying this is early 2022. No. The announcement comes down of
earlier in like 2021, like in the fall.
Sure.
So like fall, there's this announcement.
Everybody's getting excited. We have something maybe to do.
We have discovered 25 new Basquiats. They're going to be brought to Orlando and they're going to be put on display.
And that's huge for us.
New art discovery period. But I was going to ask Olivia, and maybe you're going to get to this. So if so, I'll shut up. But why Orlando as the debut location for these newly discovered works?
Right.
Like, not to say not Orlando, but it's like if you have this artist who was based in New York, Orlando is not exactly a mecca of fine art compared to, say, New York City.
Yeah,
that's a great question. We're gonna discover why Orlando.
25. Also, it's such a 25. Nice round number.
Isn't it nice?
That
a nice number.
It's not
25.
That's a lot too. That's a lot of paintings to be discovered.
That's right.
That's like a whole storage unit full of nothing.
Funny you should say. Funny you should mention storage unit.
That was me saying words. I don't know anything.
So Aaron De Groft is very confident in the Orlando Museum of Art's ability to thrive and survive because they are about to open this exhibit and they are going to save Orlando, was kind of the vibe.
And I remember people being so excited when he became the curator.
Oh, it was a big deal.
It was a big deal. I remember that.
So there's a big party for the exhibit opening. All the arts leaders are there. And from an unnamed source, Aaron De Groft was definitely feeling his oats at that party. People were invited to dress, I think, like 70s and 80s if they wanted to. The name of the exhibit was Heroes and Monsters.
Okay, yeah.
That's right.
Okay. Yes.
Yep.
How ironic and fortuitous. Okay. So someone was quoted as saying that he was wearing a very revealing shirt with his buttons opened all the way down, like to below the chest, and he did not have a shirt on underneath. However,
wear a shirt like a person.
An odd choice for an outfit for that night. Now,
wear a shirt, please.
He was also seen to be drinking quite a bit that night. Okay, he was celebrating. His success.
Celebrating.
Which fine, it's a party. Like you do you.
So the next morning, several arts leaders in town woke up to a email that was sent at about 4:15 in the morning from Mr. De Groft to these arts leaders.
Wait. I'm clarifying. I know you just said it, but my brain is catching up.
Yep.
So he's at the party. It's like opening of the exhibit.
Yep.
He's wearing a shirt of questionable style. He's drinking. Ostensibly, everyone goes home. And then he's like, no. At 4 a.m., he's, I don't know, on the John maybe. And then he's like, I'm going to send a mass email. Because everyone needs to know my 4 a.m. thoughts. I'm going to send a mass email. What could go wrong? Is that what we're talking about, Olivia?
That is exactly what we're talking about, actually.
Okay,
this
wow.
is greater than I ever imagined.
The content of the email, it was a reply all to an email chain that had been going around to within the United Arts group that I think had started after this meeting that had happened.
After the big round table.
After the big round table.
How should we proceed?
That's right. There was an email chain had started.
Camaraderie.
That involved all the executive and artistic directors of the cultural organizations in Central Florida that were like, this is hard. Like, here's a problem I'm having. Here's a problem I'm having. Like, it was kind of a ongoing conversation.
That they all got together to do that.
Email.
Because often that doesn't happen.
So 4:15 in the morning,
my God.
Mr. De Groft replies all to this email and says, basically, I am here in Orlando to help. And I am the biggest thing Orlando's ever seen when it comes to arts leadership. I'm doing things no one has ever done before. I've brought in a Pollock, which was of questionable intent.
They've already been here. They were here like 15 years ago. Sorry.
I've brought in this Basquiat collection. And I want to know, with all my experience and expertise, how can I help all of you? What can I do to help save your organizations? That is a paraphrase, but that is exactly what was in this email.
Imagine what was going through the heads of some of the arts leaders in Orlando when that came through.
A text chain then started between the arts organizations going, did you see this shit?
Can we bring them all on? Can we have like a round table on our podcast, please?
The secondhand embarrassment, though, of I am the biggest thing that has ever happened
that this town has ever seen is basically what was said in the email.
I was like, I guess, I mean, Fernando Bajones, rest his soul, who is deceased, did nothing. Only one of the greatest ballet dancers of his generation, leading Orlando Ballet, but that's neither here nor there, I guess. Oh my God.
No. They had never met the forces of Aaron De Groft.
Who I'm sorry, also, is not an artist themselves. Like, he hasn't made anything.
Not to my knowledge. And the research I've done, perhaps, but I am not aware that he himself, actually, I'm going to.
That's interesting because I'm much more likely to trust an arts leader who's made art.
Yeah, let me see. He did study art history. He's a brilliant
actor, so yeah, I'm going to follow you. You're fantastic at what you do.
No. Okay, go on.
Well, so before he was at OMA, he had been the director and curator at the Ringling Museum. So like he had his own provenance.
Museum.
Was well documented. Like he
and this I
think this is the case of, I think, getting too big for your britches.
Olivia,
I think is what this case is.
Are you saying that a man who worked in arts had an ego that got away from him?
What? That never happens.
A man was overtaken by a...
It's not limited to...
Could it have been that pride goeth before a fall?
Oh, nice. Well done.
So this email goes out. No one replies because everyone is horrified.
I would have just
horrified.
I would have sent the Shore Jan like GIF if I
screenshots were going around.
Did their text change start? Like, who saw it first? I want to know.
I'm
sitting on the shitter thinking about how great he is.
I just had 4 nightcaps, and you know what? You guys you don't deserve me. But I'm going to still help you.
You should learn from me.
I'm going to offer. Guys, all you little people in Orlando.
How dare you? We are fantastic people in Orlando.
I can help you because I'm a big deal.
I got
send, reply all.
And It's so the energy to have, again, you haven't made anything, but you got here 4 seconds ago.
Right.
And calm down.
Calm
down.
Now, everyone's horrified, laughing behind his back, also talking about his open shirt. Okay, so we're like, God, this guy.
You wear
guy.
a shirt
That's what
like
I've been
that
talking
and you
about.
send an email like that.
Jesus.
You deserve what you get. I'm
Well,
sorry. Like, you set yourself up.
I want to say it was the same week. An article drops from the New York Times.
Oh, shit.
Titled, In Orlando, 25 mysterious Basquiats come under the magnifying glass.
25.
Mysterious.
How
The
ballsy.
same New York Times drops an article that the FBI is looking into the authenticity of the 25 Basquiats on display in Orlando Museum of Art. And they had notified the museum a month before the exhibit went live that there were concerns over the authenticity.
So this
of these
guy is
paintings.
making 4:15 a.m. like texts from his toilet after the FBI has already said,
Hey, buddy.
Like,
we have some concerns
man, what are
about
the balls
these
on this
paintings.
guy?
So this means, Olivia, at the time of, we'll even say, like, he gets in there and then probably almost immediately has started working on getting this exhibit to come for February of 2022.
Right.
So let's talk about the provenance of these paintings.
Let's talk about the provenance.
Let's talk about this. So I love that the New York Times article starts out, "It seems like a story too good to be true." And for some in the art world, it is.
Hey, New York Times.
Now, this came out a week. So this article dropped a week after the unveiling of these 25. And the biggest deal was that this was the first public showing of the pieces. So they had not been publicly displayed.
No one else has ever seen them.
That's right. That's right. They had not been publicly displayed. Would you like to know why?
Yeah.
Because other galleries and other artistic directors had been approached with these 25 paintings. No one believed in them enough to put them on display, because here's something that happens in the art world.
Oh my God.
If you own a museum and you present these pieces as if they are a thing,
here's a Van Gogh.
That's right. That adds credibility and credence to the pieces. And therefore, no one was willing to take that next step to host these in a museum, because they thought, I don't know, this seems sketchy. We don't feel like putting our reputation on the line.
To legitimize.
They
to legitimize them.
listen to their gut.
Right. Well, and more than the gut when you hear the, but also when a museum says these are real, pay me to come see them and charge admission to see them. Their name is now part of the provenance.
Yes.
So their name is now associated with it as an authenticating entity, because it is expected that the museum will do their own due diligence and explore that.
Hey friends, Jen here, and we hope you're enjoying this episode of Life Upon the Wicked Stage. Just a few quick reminders. If you're looking for any of the visuals that we've mentioned in this or any episode of the podcast, make sure to follow us on Instagram at Wicked Stage Pod or Facebook at Life Upon the Wicked Stage. If you want more, please join our Patreon by searching the Wicked Stage Podcast. There you'll find ad-free episodes, videos of our recordings, mini-sodes, behind-the-scenes content, giveaways, and so much more. And the most important side note, if you like the show, please give us a nice rating wherever you listen. It sounds silly, but it's still the best way to get the word out and support us in this crazy podcast world. Well, lights are blinking, intermission's over, so grab those snacks and another drink and enjoy the rest of the show.
So let's explore the provenance
Let's.
of these 25.
Please.
Of
Such
these
a
25
round
paintings.
number.
25.
So, in 1982, Jean-Michel Basquiat was living in Venice, California, and he was using a studio space and living beneath Larry Gagosian's home. Again, Larry Gagosian
Art.
is if there was like a king of the art world, it would be Larry Gagosian.
But no kings. We don't have kings in America. Sorry. I just had to.
Now, Basquiat was a drug addict, as we've established.
Heroin.
And heroin specifically.
Thank you, Ashley.
22. He was preparing for a show in LA, but he's in Venice and he's cranking out paintings. And he allegedly came across a known television screenwriter named Thad Mumford. And Basquiat needed some quick cash. Sure. The insinuation in the story is that he needed it for drugs. He needed quick cash. So he sold Thad Mumford 25 of his paintings.
Jesus Christ.
For the price of $5,000.
Oh, no. Bullshit.
He was already known.
He was known. He was already
I believe
a known
Gagosian may have been actually his manager, like his rep at the time. And Gagosian has no knowledge of this interaction. He paid $5,000. Thad Mumford didn't know basically what he had just purchased.
Sure, he's a screenwriter. He's in a different world. He doesn't know.
Right. So he put them in his storage unit.
Oh my God.
In 1982. Put them in his storage unit. Never did a thing with them. Never
just popped them in.
Never told anybody.
This feels unlikely.
As proof of the sale, Jean-Michel Basquiat typed up a letter that was kind of a summary of the paintings he was giving him and signed it.
A little receipt.
A little receipt was created, and Thad took the receipt and the paintings and put them in his storage unit. This is 1982. Then Basquiat dies in 1987.
Heroin.
Heroin. Heroin overdose.
Mm-hmm.
And the paintings were forgotten.
Just in that storage unit in Venice Beach.
In 2012.
Wow, what a jump.
We're jumping forward 30 years. The Thad Mumford storage unit had gone into collections because he was aged at this point. He had not been paying the bill. So they did kind of like that, American Pickers, where
storage wars.
Right. They had an auction. Quick. So they auctioned things off, and items that were in the warehouse were some TV memorabilia, some baseball memorabilia. Okay. So this guy, William Force, is a picker. He's a treasure hunter guy. So William Force, and his financial backer, Lee Mangan.
Oh, does he get one too? I'm really happy.
It's a double awooga situation.
They love to scour small auctions and try to find things.
Okay.
They saw the colorful cardboard images and they snagged the lot for $15,000. Wow.
No.
They bought these 25 artwork pieces because allegedly nobody knew what they were.
So let me ask you a quick question. You said cardboard. So he painted them on cardboard?
Yes, which that was a thing.
That was a thing, right?
So these particular pieces, yes, were painted on cardboard. He was known for painting. That's a good question. He was known for painting on found
because of his graffiti
materials.
background.
Yes.
That makes sense. Sure.
Right. There was an announcement made, like, we found 25 Basquiats. And Gagosian's like, I don't think you did. He never for 1 second believed they were real. His quote is, I find the scenario of the story highly unlikely.
Because he said he was kind of his manager too, in a way.
Right. That's right. Now, So that's 2012.
Okay.
Okay.
There are these. So in
Okay.
2012, when they found them, there are signatures on them
Mhm.
that were authenticated as being Basquiat's signature. Now,
Okay.
remember that authentication committee I told
Yes.
you about that, like
Mhm.
that was
Yep.
run through either the family's trust or whatever.
Yep.
Well, what a sad coincidence that committee disbanded in 2012 before these paintings were founded.
How
Convenient.
convenient.
So they were not able to go back through this committee to be authenticated.
Well, well, well.
Well. Now, Thad Mumford was still alive when this happened. He was questioned about it. He did have some aged memory issues, but he did not recall this purchase at all. But they had this receipt that was typed up and signed by Basquiat,
Mhm.
and that was his signature.
I feel like a signature in general on any medium is one of the easiest things to fake.
It's an easy
Also, the
forge,
signature, it's just
right?
his initials. It's his initials,
Like,
and
yeah.
underneath. Now, once these guys purchased these Basquiats,
Mhm.
in quotes, Basquiats,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, Ashley, people want to buy these.
Right.
Sure.
Some of them were purchased by a Los Angeles trial lawyer named Pierce O'Donnell.
Okay.
Now,
It's a good name too.
another kind of funny coincidence,
Quote unquote.
the Pollock that was supposed to be presented by Aaron De Groft in January of 2022 that was pulled for being questionable.
Mhm.
Guess who the owner of that piece was?
I bet that guy
Good
is.
old Pierce.
Yep, there he
Pierce
is.
O'Donnell.
Nope.
When this story dropped in 2022, what was later uncovered was the FBI had been following these paintings since their discovery. This is the slowest of slow burn investigations.
This is why I wouldn't be good in the FBI. Sorry. It's too slow for me.
were on to these guys from the beginning,
Hmm.
but no crime had been committed yet.
Sure. Finding
Right.
something.
Finding
and
it and claiming you've got it,
This might be a thing.
Not
yeah.
Very different
crime.
thing.
Crime,
Yeah.
shitty, sure. A crime, nope.
No money has changed hands.
No money has
therefore,
changed hands.
yeah.
Now, in shortly after, the FBI actually went and interviewed Thad Mumford themselves, and he signed an affidavit saying that not only had he never bought any Basquiats, he had never met the man.
How did they get into
They're
his
in
storage
his storage
unit
unit.
for 30 odd years?
25 of them.
So unfortunately, Thad Mumford passed away in 2018
Sorry.
before these even came out into the scene. So we've
A
got
good
the
thing,
alleged
honestly.
purchaser passed away.
Mhm.
The commission that could have authenticated them has been dismantled, and magically here they are. So these guys, Lee Mangan, William Force, and Pierce O'Donnell,
Mhm.
have been walking around trying to find somebody to purchase these, or at least display them in a museum to authenticate them.
Because otherwise they're shit.
Otherwise, they're pieces of cardboard.
Yeah.
And then finally, when Aaron De Groft took possession of these, claimed that they had been authenticated, presented them to the public, and charged tickets for it, they could move forward with an investigation.
So for 10 years, they couldn't find anybody who was willing to take a chance and say, yes, I think these are genuine, these are authentic. Everyone that they had approached for 10 years said, nope, seems weird, until Aaron De Groft was like, yep, nothing to see here. I will use these to glorify myself. I mean, show the people
Aaron
art.
De Groft in his shirt down to his navel. There you go.
Oh my God.
Listen, we got to use it. We haven't used it in a while.
was get it authenticated. So
Somebody, yeah.
they hired a woman, Jordana Moore Saggy,
Another great name.
who is an art history professor. And so in 2017, these guys hired her to take a look at them and authenticate them. Okay. Her assessment was quoted when the Orlando Museum of Art came out with the pieces and the New York Times article dropped questioning their authenticity. The Orlando Museum of Art, well, Aaron De Groft,
Right, let's take the Orlando
immediately
Museum of Art
pushed
out of
back.
It's just Aaron.
That's right. He immediately pushed back and said, you know, we are of the highest caliber. These have been authenticated, for example, by Jordana.
Oh,
Jordana Moore Saggy.
no.
Like they've been authenticated by her. Look, here we go. We're gonna publish what she said. When Jordana saw this happening, right? So she examined these in 2017. Here we are in 2022. She sees that she is being quoted.
You're the expert. You said they're fine.
You said they're fine.
They're right.
She wrote a statement that was published by the Baltimore Sun that said, those claims are false. Nowhere in my report did I provide positive or definitive attribution to Basquiat for any of these works. I rejected 9 of them outright.
No!
I concluded that 11 could be based solely on a review of photographs. She never even saw the actual.
She never saw the actual paintings. Oh my God.
Nope. It's not how you provenance, people.
She was shocked that Oma took words from her report when she saw that she had been quoted in the New York Times and been quoted in Oma's exhibit catalog as to saying she reached out to Aaron De Groft and said, hey,
she was trying
that's not what I said. Take my name off of this. I did not authenticate those. You're ruining my reputation. Would you like to know the email he replied to her with?
God, yes. Please tell us.
This man put everything in writing.
I mean, was it at 4:15 on the toilet? Like
it might have been. It might have been around that time. Now, she had been paid, in 2017 to do a report.
To do a report, not to authenticate, to actually do a report, to do her job.
Right.
To do her job.
Here's what he said. Quote, you want us to put out there that you got 60 grand to write this? Okay, then shut up. You took the money. Stop being holier than thou. Do your academic thing and stay in your limited lane.
That's not how that works at all. When you are doing a service like that, you get paid regardless of the outcome. That's like saying if I'm going to, Quest Diagnostics for a blood test, regardless of the results of the blood test, I have to pay for the test.
Or even going,
it may not say what you wanted it to say.
Right.
It might say, it might say that, I've been doing heroin. Spoiler alert, I have not.
No.
But
but
heroin.
He's implying, not only is he telling her, he literally says, shut up.
Shut the.
But not only that, he's implying that he's going to blackmail her to say that she took 60 grand to say they were real. That's what he's implying in this. He's blackmailing her.
But take your unbuttoned shirt and go home, Aaron De Groft.
Now,
Stay in your fucking lane, asshole. Oh my God, I hate him.
Oh my gosh.
Not only did he tell her to shut up and stay in her lane,
via email.
When the paintings arrived at the museum, some of the employees raised concerns that at Oma that they did not appear to be authentic, and Groft told them to not worry about it.
I'll ask this because it's like, That is this. I don't know what was wrong, but this must have been pretty severe because if you don't have other Basquiats in your collection and you, the employee, are maybe not an
Right.
expert on this artist,
Right.
for something to be wrong enough that you're like, this seems weird.
Well-
Me, general employee who's unpacking and installing art, like I'm sure that is their job and that's what they do on a regular
Yeah.
basis. But like,
Right.
what were they seeing that
And
was
to
like?
see that at the Orlando Museum of Art, for everyone that's not in Central Florida, this is not a large museum.
No.
Very
It does
small.
not have a huge staff. So much of its staff is actually
No.
volunteer.
Yes. Flag a piece you've never seen
Yeah.
as being
As
suspicious.
being like,
Like, what were they
Okay.
seeing?
Yeah.
The other thing that comes out is because the FBI has been investigating this for so long, there is some recon that already was done on some of this.
Uh-huh.
The receipt.
Mm-hmm.
If you look in the drive, you'll see a picture of it. So
Yes.
do you remember? You guys might be too young. Okay, we used to have these things called word processors.
I remember a word processor.
Okay.
Fuck
I've
you.
seen a word processor.
Okay,
How dare
all right.
you?
Have you ever written an essay on one?
Yes.
Okay. Then you
No.
shut up and stay in your limited lane.
Lit-
Okay. So a word processor was like the first like digital typewriter. All it was a screen and a keyboard, and you would type and the letters would come up on the screen and that's
it.
green. So Thad's receipt that was with the painting.
And he's gone at this point. He has passed away.
Thad's dead.
At this point. R.I.P. Thad. You are not garbage in this. You have nothing
like
to
you,
do with
Thad.
this. Thad is the victim.
Thad
one is the victim.
Doing his best.
You were trying your best to write
doing
some
his best.
screenplays for Hollywood, and
That's right.
This whole thing.
That's
they
right.
fucked
By the
you.
way, Thad, one
Stop that.
of Thad's coworkers, was interviewed about this receipt. So this receipt is allegedly a poem that Thad wrote explaining what's in the paintings that
That's
Basquiat
what
was
that
giving to
is?
him. It is supposed to be Thad was looking at these paintings and wrote up this kind of poem to explain what was in the paintings, and then Jean-Michel signed it and Thad signed it.
I was gonna say, because this receipt
I didn't know what it was. Yeah.
Usually it's more of an itemized list, and usually there is like a dollar value assigned to
Like I paid $15,000
Right.
or
Like, there are no numbers
$5,000.
on this receipt.
Further questioning came in with Thad Mumford's friend said, look, we worked together, MASH and whatever. Thad wrote on a legal pad. He never even used a word processor. I never saw him use one. So why would he have used one in 1982 to write this poem about the paintings he was buying?
Memories.
So things are being called into question. And Pierce O'Donnell, remember our friend Pierce, who's one of the owners.
All of these names. We have the best names on this podcast, guys. The best.
He hires a lawyer because now shit's getting real in the news. Okay. And the New York Times article's out.
Yeah.
Jordana has come out and said they have threatened me with blackmail.
And blackmailed me, yeah.
And blackmailed me. So Pierce hires an attorney. Mm-hmm. And the attorney puts out a quote saying that Mr. O'Donnell is the victim. Again, Pierce O'Donnell, he's a co-owner of this collection. And he's been a co-owner since early on. Like he's been a part of this for a long time. Mm-hmm. Mr. O'Donnell is the victim of an intentional and malicious campaign by Dr. Saggy. That's the expert who said, I did not say those words.
Yeah.
He's the victim of this campaign by her to walk away from her research and findings, to extricate herself from the controversy surrounding these paintings, and to blame Mr. O'Donnell for her actions. So they're putting it back on her, saying, oh, you authenticated them, and now you want to claim that you didn't.
She didn't authenticate them.
Wouldn't this all be cleared up by just releasing the full report?
Reports?
If she's like, hey, you extrapolated sections out of widely published, maybe she just sent it to certain people, but it's like, show the receipts. Like, where's the report? That should clear this right up.
This is why it's so important, everyone. Have a paper trail.
Have a paper trail.
Document.
So this is all swirling, okay? And now people are buying tickets to go see this stuff because this is like a
In
shit
Orlando,
show. It's
because
in the
we
New
have
York
something
Times. It's
very
the LA Times.
special.
So people are going to see it. I regret to this day I never went over there to see them because people went over there to see them. They took the photos.
It might have been real. They might have been fake. Who knows?
That's right.
You
It
were
was
right
like
across the lawn at that point.
yes. Well, suddenly, let me get the date right. Give me 1 second.
I feel like we should also read this receipt. I know we're going to put it on
Yeah,
social.
we should read the poem.
We should
can
read the poem.
Jen, do you want to read the poem?
I'll read the poem because industry insiders, Golden Crowns receiving, Brooklyn Brothers hands creating, drawing writing, Brigon gaps, LA summer bright, beware the fleeing wretched loneliness. Poems, guys, poems. 25
clearly described.
Right.
Go ahead. Yeah.
There's more. But wait, there's more.
Keep going.
25 paintings bringing riches. Sing along, Dr. Thad, sing along. Breaking bread this our summer, wrapping clothes last scene of war. Eat, drink, celebrate. Choices made intriguing, a various quest. We undertake a quest, guys. There's a quest. Raw emotions of a child. Did you know? We film, we write, we film, we paint. Crowning glory brings cheers and statuses. Oh, how grand we feel. Oh, how lovely our life will be. A baseball, a bird, a television, our play, a future bright.
So it's talking about some of the elements in the painting.
It absolutely is. There's a crown in there. There's some baseball.
Yep. A bird, the baseball. What? Okay.
What a word salad.
We'll post it on our social.
Yes.
That's insane.
So
weird.
So all this controversy swirling, it's all anyone can talk about.
Olivia's right across the lawn watching shit happen.
Yes. De Groft
literally out her window.
Out her window. We're going, beep. I don't have anything to do today. What's going on over there?
What's going on over there? I mean, a little bit from that golden throne that he wrote that email from at 4:15 in the morning. He's fallen from that a little bit. But he doesn't let it go. He is saying these are real.
Doubling down.
He says, my reputation is, this is a quote he gave to the New York Times. My reputation is at stake. I've absolutely no doubt these are Basquiat's.
To the New York Times.
Yeah.
Well, but conversely, not to say that, it's right, but also like, what else was he going to say?
You're right.
At this point?
What else is he going to say?
So what month are we in, Olivia?
Yeah.
Like,
Okay.
where are we date-wise? We opened in February.
Yeah.
Everything's magical. He's sending open-shirted emails and telling us he's going to save us all
from his toilet with the Picasso outside.
And the FBI says, not so fast. Where are we in the timeline?
Great. So now we are in June 2022.
Quick.
So the exhibit has not closed. The museum's not backing down. President of the board stands behind Aaron De Groft and is like, nope, that's real. So William Force and Lee Mangan and Pierce O'Donnell are saying these are all real.
So Olivia, he's doubling down and he's like, no,
doubling down, not shutting down the exhibit. They're saying, no, this is real.
They're real.
Pierce O'Donnell is saying, if somebody was going to forge these, they would forge one, not 25. Like, that's ridiculous. Which makes me wonder, was Pierce also taken? Like, was he taken for a ride by William Force and Lee Mangan? And then he was just like shit up a creek?
No, he was here. He was in Brooklyn. He was from China, but he was living in Brooklyn when he did them.
Left
maybe Queens
to go back home, and he never came back.
He fully fled.
That's
but
right,
he was doing, and I can't remember the total number of paintings. He was also doing different artists. So the fact that
he's
it's like,
amazing. That guy, Forger is amazing.
But they said like, if
Forgery is an art unto itself.
Yeah,
but the fact. And also, I think too, it's also one thing to do a forgery of something that is existing, like the Mona Lisa.
Right.
If I was going to forge the Mona Lisa and say, no, this is the real one, I'm going to do a 1-for-1 copy. I can can understand forging one of that, because then you are challenging like the one that's maybe on display or someone actually owns it.
Don't leave out the peacock. Don't leave
But
out
if
the
you're
peacock.
doing something like the whole like undiscovered art, it's like, why cap it at one? It's new. In theory, no one's seen it. So like you could do as many as you want. There's no one
25?
to say
Like 25?
Oh, that's yeah, there's no one to say, oh, well, that's not the real one. The real one has, whatever. It's like you can do anything you want. So like, why would you only do one?
Right.
Like that,
Right.
That feels like a false argument to me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
So now here we are in June
2022.
2022. Now, the exhibit is supposed to close at the end of June, and its next stop is Italy. Now, once it gets there,
I didn't know that. I didn't know it was planning on going somewhere else.
Yes,
someone else took it
to Italy
because
where there's actual real.
Well, it's been presented as a piece of
real.
So it was going to travel to Italy, and by that point, it would be out of the jurisdiction of the FBI. It would be out of the country, and then it could be sold over there for being a real Basquiat. And they said it would fetch about $100 million is what they were thinking this collection would fetch. So that was the next step that was planned by Aaron De Groft and all these people.
Yet another way Americans ruin the world.
So, however, just a couple weeks before the exhibit was set to close and get shipped, all of a sudden, these vans pull up to Orlando Museum of Art. God, and we start getting text messages over here at Orlando Rep and peeking out our windows.
I'm sorry, you were getting text messages?
Yes. The FBI is raiding OMA.
Oh my God.
I knew you saw it. I didn't know you got text messages.
There were text messages.
Oh my God.
The guys were not in like, FBI, SWAT, nothing like that. They were just in like regular blue collared shirts. Nope, nobody.
Not that kind of raid.
Not Mindhunter,
it wasn't that kind of raid. This was a high art raid. This was, they probably went in and kindly introduced themselves and said.
They probably had a warrant, but they're like, we don't need the Kevlar today. It's fine.
Yeah. So.
Wow. Oh my God.
They seized every single painting.
Did you see them, Olivia, like coming out with the paintings?
I saw them towards the end of it because by the time I'd heard what was going on, I didn't actually see the paintings being carried out, but I saw the guys with the vans. And I was like, oh my God, it's the FBI. Now,
oh my God.
The rumor also was that they took computers from OMA because they took all these computers because they were going back and they had a warrant for all the email communication from Aaron De Groft to various people.
Don't leave a paper trail.
He emailed everybody from his toilet at 4 a.m. So here's my favorite part. I saved it. We're not at the end yet, but I saved it till after the raid because I wanted to bury the lead a little bit. What was it that really, there's suspicion. The provenance is bizarre. Provenance. His signatures, though, were authenticated.
They were, yeah.
So what is it that made them so sure that these were fake?
Yeah.
Well, I waited to upload this into the drive, but we have a smoking gun, as we would say. So as we said,
I love you.
I did. These paintings were done on cardboard, and cardboard. It is stated that it can't really be dated. Like cardboard is cardboard is cardboard. Right. You can't tell if cardboard is 30 years old or if it's 5 years old. On the back of one of these paintings, there's a FedEx shipping label, and it says, a line top of FedEx shipping label here.
I see
like it's just printed, right? It's printed on the back.
The cardboard's original use
was a FedEx shipping box, which is, hey, they were around back then. Okay. Well, the New York Times consulted a brand expert and showed them the photo of the cardboard, And the brand expert said, well, his name is Lyndon Leader. Leads the way. He said, it appears to be set in the Universe 67 bold condensed font. And it's in that distinctive purplish font.
Meaning the FedEx label.
That FedEx type
Yeah.
that's on the back, that's
Yeah.
been printed on the back. It's Universe 67 bold condensed. So this painting, having been done in 1982, it would be impossible to have that font on the back of that painting because that font was not adopted and that imprint was not adopted by FedEx until 1994.
Graphic design.
As a graphic
years
artist,
after
she's
the
like,
death of Basquiat himself.
Graphic design wins the day.
Right?
That's it. Graphic design is the true hero
of the Basquiat case
Heroes
in
and
Orlando.
Monsters.
Well. The topography speaks.
If only he'd used something like a Comic Sans, we would have known right away.
Or
But
Times
he went
New Roman.
with That's right. If he'd done a Times New Roman, that probably would not have given it away. But
Wow.
Yep. So that was.
I want to join
the
the
smoking
FBI.
gun.
This shit. This is awesome.
However, even when presented with this, O'Donnell said, even if there's a question about one painting, it doesn't cast doubt on all the others.
There are 25 that were put into a storage box and nobody did anything with them. Bullshit, man.
Set.
Oh.
They're a group. I don't no.
So, however, you've got Thad Mumford, who says he never met the guy.
Thad Mumford.
He gave an affidavit to the FBI saying, I never met Basquiat. I never bought paintings.
And he wrote
all
for
of his
MASH,
friends
ladies and gentlemen.
That's right. All of his friends and family said he was not into art. He wouldn't have bought paintings.
Going back to what I said, why would you pay money for this asset that you didn't give a shit about?
Didn't even care.
Store it?
I know
like,
we covered
throw it in a.
But he literally just like said this guy bought them, and he just like picked this guy's name out of like I don't know credits to MASH.
So it sounds like they did probably go to this auction, or maybe they knew this auction was going on, and they knew that Thad Mumford was in Venice at the same time that Basquiat was.
My God.
Those paintings were never in the storage unit. There was no 25 pieces of cardboard recovered from that storage unit. This whole thing is made up. The whole thing.
He literally was just happened to be in Venice. So somebody could be like, Ashley Wilsey, you're in Orlando, Florida right now.
And I'm having a garage sale. Right. And so you just say, yeah, I bought these at Ashley Wilsey's garage sale. Wow. That's wild. What a bold move, too.
Right?
This is so much bolder than I ever imagined.
I also just found a photo. It's from the exhibit opening at Orlando Museum of Art. It's Aaron De Groft with Lee Mangan and Lee Mangan's wife. Lee Mangan as in the picker that found this stuff.
As in awooga noises.
As in the ultimate liar behind the whole scheme. That photo is now up there. Just look at the wife. I'm sorry, but just look at her.
She's going to be played by Jennifer Coolidge in the film adaptation of this story. And that is all I will say.
My husband said he found these paintings and now we're really, really rich. Look at her. After the raid, Aaron De Groft was removed from his position as executive director of the Orlando Museum of Art.
Thank God.
No shit.
The president of the board was also fired because there were emails insinuating that they knew when they went through these emails that they knew there was a question. So he had kept the FBI subpoena private from just about everybody. The rest of the board did not know that this FBI, or I should say inquiry that I mentioned came out in January, a month before. Aaron De Groft and the president of the board allegedly did not tell anyone else. So the staff didn't know the FBI was raising the flag. and the rest of the board didn't know.
That is like
but those two knew.
That is rule number 1 with a nonprofit. You have to let your board know.
Right. It's their names on the line. So 2023, they identify the guy who forged the paintings.
Aha.
And he's arrested, charged with forgery.
We know who he is.
3 years probation, $500 fine. His name's Michael Barsman.
It's not a cool name.
He was it's not a cool name. He was an auctioneer.
Oh.
In LA. Yeah. So he is the one that forged these. I'm quoting an ArtNet article. He decided to create these Basquiat paintings in a moment of desperation in 2012, hoping to make a quick buck on eBay. He and an accomplice, who was never identified, dashed off the forgeries quickly, spending between 5 and 30 minutes on each of the paintings. So because he was an auctioneer, he often bought and sold contents of an abandoned storage locker, and he had actually purchased objects from Thad Mumford's storage locker.
Thad.
Poor Thad. And Thad died in depression with dementia. It's Thad's story is really quite sad. He was yeah. So the storage unit story, that's where that came from. The forgeries found a buyer in William Force and Lee Mangan, and their lawyer, Pierce O'Donnell, who spent the next 10 years trying to prove the work's authenticity. So you could say maybe they were duped, but I don't think so at all. I think they knew when they bought these. I think, and the fact that they spent 10 years from 2012 to 2022 trying to authenticate them.
Yeah, that's a long time.
They knew they were bullshit. It's not going to happen. So now Barsman, he did confess in 2023 after they raided the museum and took all the paintings.
After
then
Olivia was watching out her window and the FBI was waiting for the museum apart.
One day I'm going to do a podcast about this.
That's what started all of this, I'm pretty sure.
And I have that email from 4:15 in the morning. So he did finally, he did confess. And then he confessed in 2023. In August of 2023, the museum filed a lawsuit against William Force, Lee Mangan, and Aaron De Groft.
Nuh-uh, I didn't know that. Oh, shit. Good job, OMA.
As of 2023, De Groft was saying he still believed they were authentic. And he did not believe Barsman's confession that they were fake. That is a narcissist right there. Possible sociopath.
I will say allegedly on this podcast, but that's bullshit.
Okay, November 2023. So this is after we've had the confession. I did it. It took me, let's see. Let's do the math. Let's say it took an average of 15 minutes of painting. 15 times 25. What is that? 5 hours? It took him not 15 times 25, but 15 minutes. So 4 hours, four paintings in an hour. I'm short circuiting myself. 4 paintings.
Math is hard.
4 paintings in an hour. So
math is the reason we're in the arts, guys.
5 times 6.
Do I need to get a calculator?
No, I've got it. It took 6 hours and 15 minutes on average for him to create these 25 paintings that lived for 10 years in infamy and almost made it to Europe for $100 and were sold for $100 million.
Italy,
almost.
Where the David is.
That close.
So, okay. De Groft is fired. The president of the board was fired. The museum has sued all of them. There's this lawsuit. November 2023. So,
we're getting close to present day.
Yeah, we are. September, October, November. 3 months after the shitteth hath fallen from the fan. It already hit the fan. It has now fallen and dripped down, and it's now on everybody's shoes. Okay. De Groft countersues OMA. November, to talk about dying on a hill.
Fucking
for a cause.
narcissist.
Not
He
gonna
sues
let it
Oma.
go.
Here's the quote from the New York Times. He said, "I am ready to talk and going to war to get my good name back,
Oh,
my
my.
professional standing and personal and professional exoneration."
Oh, sweetie, no.
He alleged that Mumford, Thad Mumford, poor dead
Poor
Thad
Thad.
Mumford,
He just wanted to
who-
write for MASH.
who was a black TV writer in the 70s and 80s. And
What?
so he alleged that Mumford lied to the FBI and the paintings were authentic. That is what he was claiming.
You, man.
2023. These lawsuits continued, okay, over the course of 2024.
2024.
And yeah, so here we are now in 2025. These lawsuits are ongoing.
Right,
January
here we are in present
2025.
days.
Literally this year.
Yeah.
So the owners of the paintings, so that would have been the crew, okay?
Mhm, mhm.
O'Donnell,
So,
Mangan,
Olivia,
Jennifer
I'm so
Coolidge.
sorry. Yeah, Jennifer Coolidge. Where are the paintings at this point? In 2025, where are the paintings?
the FBI has
The
them.
FBI has them.
I don't
They're
know if
locked
they've been
away.
destroyed or if they're still laughing at them going, "Can you believe it was a FedEx
They're up
font
next
type
to their
case?"
guest bathroom in the FBI building.
Bare minimum, they're in a storage locker
Virginia,
somewhere
they're
in the
just like
FBI in Quantico.
I hope they're hanging by a bathroom
I
somewhere.
really hope so.
Yeah. So the owners tried to file. Sorry.
You're
They
thinking
tried to
about them
file
being
a
in the
night-
bathrooms, right? It's fine.
No, I'm laughing at this audacity.
All right, tell us.
Ready? The owners tried to file a $19.7 million claim from Liberty Mutual and Great American Insurance. They tried to
$19.7 million.
$1 million claiming that, I guess, I don't know if it's because the paintings were taken or because they had been lied to, but they tried to file an insurance claim
For the
against
worthless painting?
for the worthless painting.
Oh
And
my God.
Liberty Mutual and Great American Insurance, this was their quote. They obviously denied the claim.
Thank
Shocker.
goodness.
And said,
their
quote,
job.
"The property alleged to have been lost." That's what it was. They tried to claim that their property was lost.
It was seized in a criminal
They're
investigation.
at the
but-
FBI.
They said, quote, "The property alleged to have been lost does not constitute covered property inasmuch as the property was inauthentic."
Yeah.
Okay.
Anyway. Now, this lawsuit against De Groft from Oma has been ongoing, and the countersuit ongoing.
Is it still ongoing? Oh, she put up her finger.
Well,
everyone. She says,
Jen.
"Hold on, Jen. Shut up."
I'm not just pointing at the peacock.
She's not just pointing at Mona Lisa cuddling the peacock in the background.
January 18th of this year,
Okay.
it made the news
I don't remember this.
that Aaron De Groft
I should shake my
passed
head.
away
That's
after
right. Oh
a
shit.
brief illness.
A brief illness.
That's right.
No other information.
And Olivia, I remember you messaged our mass group that was like, "This is bullshit."
Sorry
Sorry to
after
jump the
that,
gun.
after it was announced that he died, his wife announced, like, she made a public statement.
Oh.
The museum released a statement
Mhm.
to the New York Times. The museum filed a lawsuit accusing its former director, of Aaron De Groft, and others of using the institution to try to legitimize fake works that they planned to sell. However, they have now dropped the lawsuit.
Because he's dead. You
He's
can't
dead.
sue someone who's dead.
So I went and I found his obituary that
okay.
his wife. I wonder if they like crowdsourced, because it was one of those where you could leave comments, you
Sure.
know, and it's just so celebratory of his life and how much he
Really?
contributed to the art world and how what a loss this is.
And he never
you know,
created a piece of art ever in his life. He just
not
now,
that I'm
not
found.
saying that means that all arts administrators have to create art. Some of them are great at just appreciating and supporting.
Well,
However,
I'll take it a step further,
Please.
and I'll just say I hate how and I'm not taking credit for this. I think this is a line from a movie I saw recently,
Great.
but that why does death make saints out of people?
Right?
And I think it's really apparent in cases like this when you have someone who's actively embroiled in like criminal
scandal.
conduct, and then
criminal,
just be like, he was a wonderful man. It's like, okay, but you want to address the
Yeah, but-
elephant in the room?
And it's like, look at the evidence. He was presenting on a Pollock that then had to be canceled because it was questionable.
That
Same owner,
actually
by the
happened
way.
in Orlando like 15 years earlier. So we've had them. That was a
Right.
bad choice
So-
on his part, by the way.
So he
pick
already
somebody
was
else.
doing that.
Yeah.
I heard from former employees that it was the most toxic work environment over there while he was there.
Horrible.
He was a
I believe it.
maniac. He
I believe it
was
too.
had a temper, and then this. So I don't know. Maybe he was a great husband and family man. It's
I doubt it.
People can be assholes at work,
So-
and then
They can
But-
be, but they can also be assholes at home.
So Olivia, my question is, we've sort of insinuated brief illness in air quotes.
yeah.
Do we think one of two things? Do we think was this really an illness, or was this he unalived himself, as
Mhm.
the Gen Alphas
Oh,
like
yeah.
to say? Did he unalive himself? Was this actually a brief illness? Or third possibility, is he like living in another country somewhere
I
under a
think
new
it-
identity?
Okay.
I think Olivia has
That-
a theory because she's mentioned this before.
Is this
Because
man
right
alive?
after it
Uh-huh.
was seized and stuff happened, I remember that there was several months where he left the country. He left the country. He could not be reached for comment because he left the country. After he was fired, he left the country for a while. And
I'm
I thought,
surprised the FBI allowed that.
I know.
Like,
Right?
Aren't
Aren't they
well,
supposed
he
to
was
stop
never
that shit?
he was never arrested by the FBI.
so he
They
personally
were just
wasn't being
watching him.
investigated.
I think they were investigating him because they seized the emails and stuff, but I don't know that there was enough that they could actually criminally
Charge him.
charge him.
Okay.
But I thought, oh, he'll never come back. That's the last we'll ever see of him.
Yeah. Embarrassment.
And then at some
That's
point,
what I do.
he came back. I don't know exactly when.
To Orlando. He came back to Orlando.
Springs is where he
My God,
was.
he came back. The narcissism
So-
of it all.
I have my doubts. Being such a grifter,
Mhm.
such a grifter. All I'll say is this: it's one hell of a way to get out of a lawsuit.
Right?
It's sort of the ultimate form of control, right? It's like, you can't get
Right?
me. I am
Yeah.
in charge. I'm in
And-
charge of this.
I do wonder, Ashley, and for that, and I'm looking at the obituary. He did have children. He had 3, a wife, a brother, and his parents are still
Wow,
alive.
that's
That's
a big family.
sad that he left all those people behind. And I don't want to negate what they're going through.
No,
The
no.
loss of a human,
Absolutely.
regardless of whatever. But I will say this sentence in the obituary, I was like,
Mhm.
this to me is a little bit tone deaf as far as he did cause a lot of strife.
Mm-hmm.
And it says, this is in his obituary, his legacy lives on in the vibrant institutions he transformed and the countless lives enriched by his work. Like the museum is still recovering from him.
Right, 'cause
They're
there's-
still
the
trying to
OMA
get
was
back
the
on their
last
feet.
place he worked, right?
It's like, yeah, you transformed it all right, but not the way.
Not in a good way.
I don't think the way somebody meant here.
His legacy lives on.
Woof.
His legacy does live
Yeah,
on.
Yeah,
and
sure.
we have yet another thing that people go, oh, Orlando?
Sure does.
And it makes me wonder, is it one of those tale as old as times? He started out like I think a lot of these people do, with the best intentions of, he worked in this industry, he was passionate about the art, about fine art, and then maybe he got a taste of too much power.
Yeah.
But
Wanted
he
to be
was that's
famous.
yeah.
I think to me I think ego is one thing,
Yeah.
but to me the doubling and tripling down,
Yeah.
and then the going
the
on
thing,
the
right?
attack like, how dare you challenge me? How dare you embarrass me? I'll show you, like, I'm going to take you out. I think ego is one thing, but that to me feels a shade darker. Not here to diagnose, but that to me speaks more to narcissism as opposed to just like, oh yeah, some typical like arts or grandiosity. It's like, well, that's par for the course. This feels like a degree or several degrees beyond that, and to where it's like you are so determined to elevate yourself and to have the status of like, I alone and here to show you all how it's done, you poor peasants.
That was exactly the tone of that email that went out. Like
that attitude. And then
2 days before the New York Times article dropped. And that's why I said, like, sometimes karma in its full glory.
And to know and to have the FBI is already investigating you. You've been warned.
You've been warned.
All of that. He was warned. And then to tell other people, like, shut up and stay in your lane after you already know that this is sketchy.
What's happening.
I don't think you necessarily care about the art. I think this is about you.
And it's 100%. And when you that's and that I think is why we now know the little smile that Mona Lisa has.
There she is back there cuddling her emotional
wink and a smile
in the back.
Wow, Olivia. Oh, well, that was.
I had no idea.
Just a wild ride. I knew a lot of the broad strokes. Like I said, I knew some of the headlines, but some of the details were even crazier than I could have possibly imagined.
All right, floozies.
And scene.
Thanks for listening to this week's episode of the Wicked Stage Pod.
Follow us on Instagram and check out our Patreon for more exclusive content.
These deliciously wicked episodes drop every other Friday, so make sure you subscribe or follow and don't get left waiting in the